Hey guys, and here we go jumping into movement and what you can really do to help optimize your body, just keep you healthy, keep you moving, just keep you feeling good in general. Now, one of the things I want to bring up here is posture. You're always in a posture. I'm standing here in a posture, I'm standing here in a posture, I'm standing here in a posture. Like it really doesn't matter the position, right? It's always a posture. Now, there are a lot of things that go into a posture, and some that usually make some postures a little bit better and some that make postures a little bit worse. So let's go what makes really into a good posture. So in standing, think of a string being pulled through the crown of the head here, pulling you up nice and tall. Now this automatically goes and tucks my chin in, helps me keep my shoulder blades back, which are going to be two of the big things here, but also keeps everything in line from my ear to my shoulder to my elbow, hip, knee, outside of my ankle. All those really should be matching up in an ideal standing posture. Now, this doesn't always happen. It doesn't always have to happen because, as we get to in a minute, you should always keep moving. But part of what comes into this is your pelvis. So are you standing with your butt out, like really back far, also known as the Donald Duck posture, or are you doing like a little Pink Panther, tucking underneath there, sauntering around a little bit? So think about like tipping back and forth a little bit and finding that middle position so you're not putting the spine in a compromised position, because both can be not the best if you're staying there, and depends on what's going on as well. Now, equal weight distribution. So you should be able to stand with both feet flat and have 50-50 weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, there's 100 on one foot, there's 100 on another foot, right? So that doesn't always hold true. You shouldn't always have to stay in that position. But as we get into here in a second, you want to keep equal balance between sides. So if you stand with one foot forward for a little bit, well, if you do that for a minute, you're going to be equal with the other foot forward for a little bit. If you even just stand and weight shift over onto one side, well, you want to be equal and stand and weight shift over onto the other side. While you're doing this, there doesn't have to be a 100% this is my posture, I can't move out of that. No, it's a dynamic posture, and that's why I said always keep moving. So finding those fluid postures where you're still maintaining a decent posture, you're not just staying down, cramped up, but maybe you're not extending way up and staying out here like this. You want to find balances, maybe spend a little time back there, maybe spend a little time forward, but so the neck, the shoulders, the back, the hips, the knees, the elbows, the ankles, I mean everything goes through full ranges of motion is a really important part of this. Now, knees and feet straight. So in general, you want to keep them relatively straight, knees, relatively straight feet. You don't want to be always one side turned out versus the other, or you don't want both sides to always just be standing way on out there. Now, again, that's not to say you can't do out a little bit, in a little bit, maybe one out, maybe the other out. But again, if you're doing one out on one side, we want to keep one out on the other side. Go back and forth, balance. One in maybe a little bit, one in maybe a little bit. Again, it's a balance. Keeping that equal distribution side to side, front to back, top to bottom. Nothing disproportionate amounts more than another. And the same applies to sitting. So we're taking that string again, chin in, shoulders back again, but you keep changing position. So you might have one foot up on one knee, foot up on the other knee, go back and forth a little bit there. It's not always going to just be crossing over only in one direction. Now again, we're bringing it out of balance. So it might be shifting over onto one cheek, shifting over onto the other cheek there. Maybe it's instead of looking dead straight at the computer screen all the time, which it should be relatively straight ahead, especially if you like to work in that position, but maybe you're not always to the left. You might go to the left a little bit, you might go over to the right a little bit, and back and forth. So all these things are going to be important to keep in mind. The biggest thing is going to be that string. Thinking of pulling yourself up nice and tall helps really just elongate all the joints in the body. It just fights gravity, fights all that compression that we're always going against. Exercise. Okay, so movement can be broken down into a couple different things. Working in, working out. Working out is often thought of as exercise, and they're synonymous. Working out is just doing a lot more hard charging stuff, breathing hard, like that respiratory rate goes up, you're breathing heavy, you're starting to sweat a little bit. Working in is, hey, calm, slow, rhythmic breathing exercises. You're going to want to find a balance to some of both of these, because one without the other, again, just like our postures, are bringing us out of balance. Now, simplest thing that everybody should be doing on a daily basis, 30 to 60 minutes, bare minimum of walking. walking from here to there, walking from there to here, going back and forth. But you gotta find that time for movement. Even that is very, very low level, 30 to 60 minutes. You really should be spending a good part of the day doing that and or finding some type of movement to do throughout the day. Weight training, resistance training, whatever you want to call it, you need to put the muscles under stress. You need to put the joints under stress. You need to put the bones under stress. That's what's happening. We're seeing a lot of these degenerative diseases. Well, part of that is because we're out of optimal alignment with our posture, and we're going to stretch and mobilize to keep that optimal posture. But we're just not giving enough resistance to the body. The muscles are breaking down, the joints are breaking down, the ligaments, the tendons, the bones, whatever it is. Because, again, Wolff's Law is, hey, we have to create that, give it that stress so that it can adapt, grow. And it doesn't have to be that you always want to get bigger muscles, bigger bones, bigger ligaments, whatever it is. But you want to be able to maintain the strength that you have. That requisite level of strength is very important, especially anytime we're talking about aging population, but it starts when we're young. We can't forget that. Strength still starts at a very young age. Now, like I said, the stretching and mobilizing all the different joints, making sure that everything's moving, but we don't want anything moving too much without the proper strength to balance it out. So these two go hand in hand and must be taken into account. And that's why, as PTs, we love doing this. This is what we do, is we try and bring that body back into balance of strength, of mobility, of flexibility, just can move through all the postures, find all those proper postures. It's really a daily practice. And like I said, posture, we're always in a posture, so it's a second by second practice. Now, movement patterns. As humans, we're meant to exude a multitude of different movement patterns. So walking, which is gait, running, we should be able to always do those things. We should always be able to squat down. We should always be able to bend forward. We should be able to go up, down stairs or hills or whatever it is, step over things, like do almost a lunge there. We should always be able to push. We should always be able to pull. We should always be able to twist. Those are the things you want to think about with your exercise routine. You're always keeping those combined. So getting in your walking, getting your weight training, combining all of those movements, but getting in your stretching and doing them all daily. And always being aware of that posture, because again, we're holding it for a split second, but we're moving again into another posture. And really just trying to bring that awareness to that posture, awareness to your movement, and you'll be able to move much more freely. Everything will start to loosen up for you. You'll just start feeling better overall. And really, that's what it's all about.